Okay, let's really unpack this. It's the question that haunts so many of us after a breakup. Why do exes always seem to reappear when you've finally started moving on? When they see pictures on Instagram with someone new, or hear through mutual friends that you're actually dating again, suddenly they're interested. Suddenly they remember all your amazing qualities. It feels infuriating, doesn't it? Like you had to prove your worth by being with someone else for them to notice. It feels like you weren't good enough when you were solely theirs. Let's dive deep into the finally seen phenomenon. It's not about you being inherently less worthy when single. It's a messy cocktail of psychology, ego, and frankly, sometimes just plain old convenience. We need to break down why this happens, so we can stop letting it sting and start using it as fuel for our own happiness. Part 1. The psychology of loss and validation. First, let's talk about loss aversion. Humans are wired to feel the pain of a loss more strongly than the pleasure of an equivalent gain. Your ex lost something when you broke up. Not necessarily you specifically, ouch, but true. But the comfort, the routine, the easy access to your presence and affection. For a while, that loss might be manageable. They're grieving, they're adjusting, maybe even enjoying some newfound freedom. But then, they start seeing you move on. And suddenly, that loss feels more concrete. It's no longer an abstract, you're not with me anymore. It's a tangible, someone else is getting to experience what I had. That triggers a little panic in their brain. They start questioning if they made the right decision. Think of it like this. You're browsing through a bakery, and you decide on a chocolate croissant. You walk away feeling pretty good about your choice. But then you glance back and see someone else grabbing the last raspberry Danish, the one you were also considering. Suddenly, that raspberry Danish looks a lot more appealing. You start wondering if you made the right call with the croissant. That's what's happening to your ex. You represent the raspberry Danish now. Someone else is enjoying something they could have had. Then there's the validation piece. Humans crave validation, and seeing you happy with someone new validates their initial choice in a weird way. If you were miserable after the breakup, it might suggest they weren't that great to begin with. But if you look genuinely content, thriving even, it subtly confirms that they chose someone worthwhile. Because you are worthwhile. It's a backhanded compliment, but a compliment nonetheless. They want to bask in the glow of your happiness, and maybe feel a little bit responsible for it. Part 2. The ego and the fear of missing out. FOMO. Let's be honest, ego plays a huge role. Your ex likely has an internal narrative about themselves. They're attractive, desirable, intelligent, funny, whatever their self-perception is. Seeing you with someone else can challenge that narrative. It forces them to confront the possibility that maybe, just maybe, they weren't as irreplaceable as they thought. It triggers a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. They see you laughing with this new person, sharing experiences, building something, and they wonder if they're missing out on something good. They start to compare the new you, the one who's moved on and is radiating confidence, to the old you that they knew. And often, the new version looks a lot more appealing. This isn't necessarily about deep, profound love rekindling. It's often about not wanting to feel like someone else is winning. Relationships. It's about protecting their ego and maintaining a certain image of themselves. And let's not forget the comfort factor. Even if things went perfect with you, there was a level of familiarity and ease. Starting something new takes effort. Seeing you happily settled with someone else might make them think, well, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to go back to what I know. It's less about passionate longing and more about convenient comfort for some. Part 3. The convenience factor, backup plan mentality. Sometimes, it's just plain old convenience. They remember you being easy to get along with, a good conversationalist, someone who understood their quirks. They might be tired of swiping on dating apps and going on awkward first dates. You're a known quantity, a safe bet. This is where the backup plan mentality comes in. For some exes, you're not necessarily their dream partner, but you're a perfectly good option to fall back on if things don't work out with others. It can feel incredibly dismissive, but it's a reality for many. Part 4. So what do you do about it? The empowerment phase. Okay, we've dissected the why. Now let's talk about how to handle it when your ex inevitably resurfaces after you start dating someone new. Here's where the real power comes in. 1. Don't take the bait. Unless you want to, the biggest mistake you can make is letting their reappearance derail your progress. Resist the urge to analyze every text, overthink every like on social media, or read into every casual encounter. They're reaching out for their reasons, not necessarily because they suddenly realized you were the love of their life all along. 2. Assess your own feelings. Before responding, ask yourself honestly, do you actually want them back? Or is it just flattering to be wanted? Are you genuinely attracted to them still? Or are you clinging to familiarity and comfort? Be brutally honest with yourself. If the answer is no, then their reappearance is just a minor distraction. 3. Keep dating and show it. Continue investing in your new relationship. Don't tone down your happiness or try to be less affectionate just because your ex might be watching. Let them see you thriving, genuinely happy with someone else. This reinforces the message that you've moved on and are doing well without them. 4. Respond strategically. If you do respond, keep it casual and friendly. No need to be overly enthusiastic or give away too much information. A simple, "Hey, good to hear from you. Things are going really well with new partner's name," is often enough. 5. Remember your worth. This is the most important part. Their reappearance doesn't diminish your worth. It actually highlights it. You were worthy of love and happiness all along, regardless of whether they recognized it at the time. You didn't need someone else to validate you. You just needed to give yourself permission to shine. 6. See it as confirmation. Think of their reappearance not as a rejection of your new relationship, but as confirmation that you're doing something right. You've leveled up, you've become more attractive, not necessarily physically, but emotionally and energetically, and they've noticed. Embrace the finally seen moment. They finally see what you have to offer. They finally appreciate your value. But now it's on your terms. You're no longer chasing their approval, they're seeking yours. Look in the mirror, or address your imaginary friend therapist with a confident smile. So next time an ex pops up when you're finally happy with someone else, don't feel frustrated or insecure. See it for what it is, a testament to your growth, your resilience, and your undeniable awesomeness. You didn't need them to validate you then, and you certainly don't need them to now. You are worthy of love, happiness, and someone who appreciates you from the start, not just when they see you with another girl. Now go out there and keep shining. You deserve it.